Hi folks, Michael Robinson here with michaelrobinsonart.com, and as you can see, I have a wonderful new hairdo. I'm just kidding. I'm working on the finishing touches to this new piece. It's probably going to be called Mixed Metaphor. It just pops a lot. So I've got this tape on here because what happens is I don't think a painting is finished until I've decided exactly what I want to do with the sides. Right now, this is that toned ground I talked to you about in an earlier video, but I think it needs to be a black or a black purple. And why is that? Well, see, something that's very important about painting is that on the canvas, it's 2D, right? Unless it's super heavily layered with scrapings. But even then, it's primarily 2D on the canvas, but it becomes 3D when it's on your wall. And why it's important to do the sides of it is nobody has a straight view of the art in their home or in a gallery. When you have the discovery experience of a new piece of art, you're going to see it at a slight angle, and that's going to make it look a little bit 3D. Not a little bit, but a lot. It just helps it pop. On this piece here, this one's called Nevermind Godsmack, I Stand Alone. Super cool. See all the black in here, all this black halo and all this other stuff that's going on, right? And there's black between all these colors here. Very intense Fauvist colors, right? If I had done the sides like that, it would have been too much. So instead, I kept it very simple, and that black at these oblique angles here really helps accentuate what's going on in here and focus your eyes on it, right? It's almost like its own little triangle thing. I also do the tops and the sides. So today, I told you I'm working on this one. It'll probably be like a blend of purple and black. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to apply it. Here's another example of how I carry what's going on in the, let me get a little closer. This one's called, I'll step back so you get the full view. This one is called Supernova King, and you see there's a lot of purple and blue interplays here. Down in this corner, you'll see that there's a lot of purple and blue down here. So I've carried this over to the sides, right? I carried this over to the sides to make sure that that would really pop out, and also the top, okay? This side here, there's a little bit of this yellow that's right here on this piece, on this section here, and I carried that over, give it a little scraped look. I'm trying to, again, if you see it from a slight angle, a painting from a slight angle, you'll see the purple, and it really helps it pop. Another example of what I've done here is this is more of a two-tone piece. You see that there's this really nice maroon and deep purple, and very deep purple down here. Love this guitar. I'm a former guitar player. It was a big part of my life. Let me get a close-up here. And that right there is a picture of my lovely wife taken several years ago down in Cancun. So what I did on this one was I put the red here and then the purple. That was pretty straightforward, but I like to continue the story. On the top, it's the maroon, and on the bottom, it's that really deep purple. Now, I mentioned a moment ago, excuse me, one of my paintings fell down. I mentioned a moment ago that sometimes, very, very rarely, I will leave the sides basically, quote, unfinished, but it's white. And a lot of times I've painted white on this side. This one here, called Seance for Penny Cent, this white piece here, really big focal point of the painting. And then we have white down here and then over here. And that forms a really pleasing triangle to the eye, right? There's this unshaded triangle. It's reinforced here and here again. So naturally what I wanted to do, oh, check out that background. Really intense purples and blues and a little bit of green. And I decided to make it white because, again, if you see it at a slight angle like this, see how that white just kind of pokes around the corner of your eye, and you sense that there's a new amount of space. It's really accentuating what's going on there. This is one I really enjoyed doing the sides on this one. This one's called Guardians of the Temple, my piece about the cryptocurrency revolution. So what I did here was, this side here is all the same as this dust color for half of it, or 2/3 of it. And then at the bottom, see how heavily scraped I did this side here? Having a hard time with this right and left on the camera. This is a scraped finish here, and I've had professional painters come over and say, hey, how'd you do that, man? I'm not telling them how. I'm not telling them how. Also, I don't remember. But on this other side here, look and see. The yellow that's here, and there's this white inset, so I continued that on. And then there's this blue in here, and then we have, again, the cream and the cream-elated finish that I scraped. You see the top is just a plain orange, but even then, this blue, I carried it on up to the very top, so that if it were hung a little lower and you saw that, you would get a sense of the river flowing from up here all the way down to the bottom of this piece. Again, this one's called Guardians of the Temple, the Cryptocurrency Revolution painting. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this Behind the Art episode. Done several of them. They're a lot of fun to do. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, come by and show us some love. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Behind the Art and why I almost always paint the sides of my paintings to give them that extra professional look, that extra pop, that extra sense of 3D art, so that the painting kind of wants to sort of jump off the wall and say, yo, this is a cool piece. Anyway, Michael Robinson with MichaelRobinsonArt.com. Once again, thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.